This is a glorious Thursday, October 6th, and we have quite the program to run today because it's the morning buzz. It's me, Isaiah, joined by, for the first time, I think, all year, Amina is in the normal studio. It's a wild time to be alive. Amina, welcome to the show. Of course, co-host JT, sports extraordinaire Campbell, and in the shadow realm, we do have to announce making her re-debut in the darkest room possible. It's Lana. First, we have some news going on across the world. Are we going to talk some Russians? What in the world? Amina, take it away.
All right. In national news, a Russian cosmonaut, Anna Kakina, rocketed from the U.S. on Wednesday for the first time in 20 years. She launched to the International Space Station alongside NASA and Japanese astronauts, despite tensions over the war in Ukraine. Despite their SpaceX flight being delayed by Hurricane Ian, they're due to arrive at the space station today and won't be back on Earth until March. They're replacing a U.S. Italian crew that arrived in April. The next crew exchange is in the spring. In state news, after reading a new investigation detailing allegations of emotional abuse and sexual misconduct in America's top professional women's soccer league, Governor Phil Murphy said he was disgusted. These allegations include accusations against a coach who once worked for the New Jersey team Murphy co-owns, known as New Jersey/New York Gotham FC, formerly known as Sky Blue FC. Murphy stated that he hopes the NWSL will put reforms in place so that this never happens again, but refused to talk about the specifics as the league is conducting its own investigation at this time. And in local news, the Essex County Sheriff's Crime Stoppers program is offering a $10,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of the person or persons responsible for the fatal shooting of Latrell Duncan, 16, who was a student at East Orange Campus High School. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, Homicide/Major Crimes Task Force tips line, or the East Orange Police Department tips hotline. Calls will be kept confidential. And looking at the weather today, it is partly cloudy with a high of 75 and a low of 48, with a humidity level of 93% and good air quality with a level of 17.
Thank you very much, Amina. Let's talk about DACA, everyone's favorite thing to talk about this morning, which, despite the mild joke there, it's very important and affects a lot of people. A federal appeals court on Wednesday said deferred action for childhood arrivals, aka DACA, policy violates U.S. immigration law, endangering an Obama-era program that provides deportation protection and work permits to nearly 600,000 immigrants who are also been known as Dreamers. A three-judge panel for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals concluded the Obama administration did not have the legal authority to create DACA in 2012, affirming a July 2021 ruling from a federal judge in Texas who barred the Biden administration from enrolling new immigrants in the decade-old program. Despite its conclusion, the appeals court did not order the Biden administration to shut down DACA completely or stop processing renewal applications, deciding instead to leave in place an order from U.S. Judge Andrew Hannon that left the policy intact for current beneficiaries. The government, however, will continue to prohibit from approving first-time DACA applications. The Justice Department, which represents the federal government in lawsuits, said it disagreed with the ruling and vowed to vigorously defend the lawfulness of DACA as this case proceeds. The Biden administration is likely to file a formal appeal, paving the way for conservative-leaning high court to issue a final decision on DACA's legality next year. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said he was deeply disappointed by Wednesday's court decision, denouncing the ongoing uncertainty it would create for families, communities across the country. He said his department would continue processing DACA renewal cases. Now, I think this is absurd to continue to play with the lives of people that are just trying to live in America. I mean, a lot of these people were born here. Their parents sadly were not legal, and them being born here makes them somehow not legal. It's just this whole thing is so frustrating, I think, obviously, because it affects over 600,000 people. But those are just the people in the program right now. We don't know the thousands, millions of people that are applying that can't now because of this ruling. And I think it's sad because people are just trying to chase a better lives for themselves. And my thing is always, no one wants to leave their country. They are kind of most of the time forced to, or they're trying to chase something that is more fulfilling in a different country. And the fact that our government continues to play with people's lives like this. You have things relating to DACA going on, and then abortions going on. And it's like, why are we going backwards when we just went forwards? And it seems ridiculous. And once again, it comes to the people we elect. And it seems like every time we have this discussion where, did we elect the right people? Are we doing our job? And then you could say it's on us, but it's also the people that we put into power, and they're the ones that are failing us. And they promise all these things, and they say we're going to do this, 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 and that, and then maybe they'll do it, but then they'll change it halfway through, and then it's not what you'd expect it to be.
But then it prompts the question: are you surprised?
No, because it's kind of the revolving cycle of government officials within this country.
They promise this, they don't give us that. They
Mhm.
promise that, they don't give us this. They give us something else we didn't want. They have a major scandal. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.
Bars this early in the morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out Beauty and the Beast.
Why are we shouting out Beauty and the Beast
Because
this
just
early?
said bars. I gotta give credit to where I get my bars from, bro.
Sheesh.
Sheesh. Shut up,
Copyright?
Mrs.
Are we gonna get
Potts.
copyrighted by Disney already?
I hope Mrs. Potts doesn't copyright me. Like,
Nah, Miss Potts can catch these hands. Now, regardless, Lana, hopefully we can hear you. Lana, say something real quick.
What's up?
All right, cool.
Hi.
Now this decision very disheartening, and I'd love to get your opinions upon it.
No, this is very disheartening because they were born in America. They have rights as much as anybody else does, and their families were just looking for a better life. So why shouldn't we give it to them? We were founded on immigrants as a melting pot. Why?
No, Lana. What really happened is true Americans were born here, and there was no controversy at any point within this country, and not a single immigrant has come here at all. Thank you very much.
do you
Obviously,
have
that is a
rights? The Constitution says you do. And frankly, I agree.
I deny those rights.
Of course you do. You're
Mhm.
American.
I'm American, real American. I'm the real Native American.
What
Thank
are
you very much.
doing so
Yeah, let's move on, guys. Hurricane Ian is still obviously something that Florida has to deal with, and they're gonna have to deal with that for years upon years, I imagine, at this point. And we have some updates upon
damage.
their recovery efforts.
That damage is, you're right, it's going to take a very long time. Thankfully, President Joe Biden is on scene. He visited Florida yesterday and saw the devastating effect of Hurricane Ian had on the state. Biden praised DeSantis's handling of the storm recovery, and both sides were able to put their politics aside for a couple of days. Now, that is the most impressive part of this feat. Biden had this to say as he stressed recovery may take years. He says, today we have one job and one job only, and that's to make sure the people in Florida get everything they need to fully recover. While it was great to see both Republicans and Democrats working together, we have seen some disturbing information come out as Florida continues to recover from the hurricane. The disaster recovery industry in America has always been sort of carried by immigrant workers from Mexico, Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, and other countries. Hurricane Ian is no different, as many Venezuelan immigrants are volunteering to help. As a matter of fact, they're being persuaded not to help as they may not be getting paid for their efforts. Adriana Phillips of community organizers, South Bronx Mutual Aid, says it sounds like human trafficking. They recruit immigrants, they take them down there, and then they don't pay them, and then they get deported. We've seen it with other hurricanes. Phillips said the other organizers have been in contact with Venezuelan migrants who took the jobs and went to Florida, but are already being told that their initial wages will be used to cover transport and housing. They're wading through contaminated waters, flooded homes and businesses, jobs that no one else is willing to take care of. In a survey of 361 construction day laborers weeks after heavy rains from Florida Harvey flooded Houston, 70 to 72% were unauthorized immigrants. Since 1980, the United States has sustained about 332 weather and climate disasters, totaling for more than 2,275,000,000,000 losses adjusted for inflation. I butchered that number. That's not how you say that. Anyway, according to National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, there's far more than enough money to pay workers, and there's more work being done to make sure that everybody, particularly immigrants, are being paid their fair share. I was killing it until that number.
I know. Sometimes it'd be like that, man.
It is what
But
it
this is definitely something you really don't hear about. This is a story that you saw online, JT. I thought it was very interesting that I've never really heard that many people, immigrant wise, help out during the reliefs of hurricanes.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and when it comes to this stuff, if they have the finances to be able to pay someone a fair wage, I really don't understand the complication there. But obviously,
They're gonna.
I'm sure someone's paycheck's a little bigger than the others, and then it's once again another never-ending cycle of kind of abusing the people that are less fortunate than you, rather than helping. Yeah, it's the I don't think it's ever gonna end, but it's very sad to see that because a lot of these people are putting a lot of work there.
Picked from the story. I don't know if it was like clear, but I do want to highlight the fact that there's people who know this and they're stopping them from going down there.
Yeah.
There's like immigrants like lining up to take these jobs because they think it's easy money. None of the Americans are gonna want to do it. And then there's people that like get them and go, don't do this. You're here for a reason. There's a big chance, A, you won't get paid, and B, you'll be right back where you came from. Like,
Yeah. What's just kind of the scary part about that though is that there is probably always going to be somebody that will do the job though.
there will.
And that's like the tough part is because you have like a lot of people that will kind of team together and
they need to take that
make a
risk.
stand. But then there's in every kind of industry, there's always going to be the people that need to like that is they
As
feel like
long as
that's
there's
their only
people
option.
that are in that situation where they have no
Yeah.
choice, the people that exploit them are going to take advantage. You're not going to see
Absolutely.
any reason. And that's the worst part about this.
Amina,
I just want to know, how is it being advertised to them? Like, are we telling them that it's a job, or are we telling them that it's volunteer work that
yes.
we will cover their costs? Because I feel like they're under the impression that they're volunteering as basically saying like, oh, I'll go do the job, but they think it's an actual job. And I feel
Yeah.
like we're telling them, no, it's up to you. Yeah, you're basically saying that you want to come help us.
That's what I thought too, because the word volunteer was used a lot there.
Yeah.
And when I think of volunteering,
They were
no one's getting
for,
paid when that happens. So
according to this, they were looking for a white van that would shuttle them down to the cleaning jobs. They were in Queens, New York, and were looking for a white van that I assume would take them. I don't know if this white van is planning on taking them all the way down to Florida, or if it would take them to Port Authority where they would have a Greyhound or something like that would take them down. But they were looking for vehicles. But instead of finding the vehicles, community organizers literally came. They like picked them up and like cut them off from like their van. Like, are you looking for this white van? And they're like, yeah, we were told that, it says recruiting. So I assume that
I guess just word of mouth or something. Like whoever was in
probably.
charge of that program, they have, I'm assuming, officials coming in.
It's a lot of like shadiness about the wording. That way they can't be held liable. Like, they
It
can't
seems like
say
it.
we're going to pay you X and X and not pay it, because then they are liable. But they can heavily imply it. They can pull lawyer tricks with the wording and ultimately use the migrants' defenselessness against them and say, we're gonna pay you this, just come down, help us out, we'll help you out, we just need help. And they'll say, okay, I'm here, I want to do something, I want to make a way. And then they get down there and they do all that work that nobody else is willing to do. And when they look for the repayment, they're going to be like, yeah, you're not supposed to be here anyway, so back to Venezuela you go, but thank you though.
That's weird. So they were all in New York and they were just approaching Hispanic people.
It's like they've just been being shipped around, apparently, according to it. Was like, I'm not gonna lie, when I was writing this, I was like a little confused because the headline brought me in. The migrants are helping rebuild Florida after Hurricane Ian. They might not get paid for it. And the first paragraph, I had to read the entire thing before I could write it. The first paragraph was, Venezuelan migrants were cold and disoriented, wandering streets in Queens, New York, looking for a white van that would shuttle them to jobs cleaning up after Hurricane Ian in Florida. Mind you, this is an article from USA Today. That's just for legality.
So is it like they were already expecting that somebody was going to come get them, even without like being told?
No, and I guess that's just because that's just the situation they're in. They don't have
to that.
Yeah, they just don't have much of a room to. Beggars can't be choosers, according to them, but it's like, maybe beggars can't be choosers, but also beggars don't have to accept exploitation. Like, like, I get that you're not legal. That's probably another thing too. They know they're not legal and they're just like taking their days as they go to like taking their blessings, taking whatever penny they can get.
Mhm.
And it's, I don't know, me personally, maybe I'm just a human being, but personally, like, if I'm going to call myself helping people out, I'm gonna actually help them.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna like throw them a peanut and be like, here, you should be grateful.
You remember where we are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
When you said that,
Sadly, it's the phrase is eat or be eaten here in the United States, and you got to do what you got to do to get ahead of your others. But I think oftentimes people forget that there's plenty of room at the table for everyone to eat. Everyone can get paid, and everyone can have a pretty decent life. But I think that oftentimes gets forgotten here. Now, Lana's once again kicking it back with Lana, critically acclaimed. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you. And before I start my segment today, I just want to mention I was on All Right, So Boom with Cam Martin last night, and we had our debate over DC and Marvel, and I
Oh.
finally got someone to agree with me on DC.
No.
X
and
also
I'm
likes it cool, so he doesn't count.
Wait, who agreed with you, Lana?
X.
Xavier.
Really?
Yes, he also likes from 50 Degrees, as he was in my room last night.
Oh
making fun of him, so,
no!
yeah, his opinion's no.
No, he was a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Now I can't trust him.
No,
Oh,
it's been disowned. It's okay.
This is
He's used to
sad.
it.
What a terrible day. What a terrible day. Lana, I hope you got some good news for us.
Please.
I got something. Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind comes out Sunday for digital. It is based on the popular game. A shattered hero must overcome blindness inflicted from battle to save his village and all of the Earth realm.
Yeah, that's
Why are they making another Mortal Kombat movie? The
Let's-
last one didn't
right?
hit.
they made two recently. Is that not what went
Two in the
down?
past, like probably like 7 years.
And neither one of them hit.
Huh.
Think about it. It's just a game of just like we're like severely disturbed kids just watch graphic.
Oh, it's a
images.
cartoon.
That somehow makes more sense.
Yeah,
It is
I guess.
animated.
Yeah, at least it's different. Like I thought it was another live action one. It's like, what again?
Yeah.
But I guess like animated, I ain't got no beef with that. I guess
I
at least
ain't
it's
got
like
no beef.
different somewhat.
I ain't got no beef. I might have some turkey, but I ain't got no beef. That was so
Turkey in
horrible.
October.
It was bad.
That
I'm
was
not
a
saying that it was.
sad,
I know.
sad time.
Listen, Mr.
You're gonna get
Program.
muted.
Listen, Mr.
You're
Program.
muted. No one can hear you. That you should be ashamed of yourself. What a shame. And
Listen, Mr.
Campbell's is
Program,
muted. as
you're
well.
not allowed to
You
speak.
think I'm new here? Lana, take it away. We good lord.
So also in the category we have Monster High the movie,
Oh, Monster High?
which comes out
Absolute-
today.
You
No.
Oh,
Hold on.
just seems like a Monster High kind of person.
And I was. and I had the dolls
Unbelievable.
Too.
You had the dolls
I
too.
collected them, yes.
Ah,
Until my sister was born and just decided to play with them like regular dolls.
you got beef with your sister? You let it out. This is like a venting area, all right?
No,
Whatever mean things you have to
okay.
say to your sister, let it out now.
It's okay. That was the end of my
Mm.
Monster High phase. So
Then you
Was it
watched,
really, or did you just realize you had to?
no, because I literally I would keep them on my dresser lined up. I did not play with them.
So it was like an altar. You were worshiping them.
Ooh, I was-
Pray to the Monster High toys.
I was a
Interesting.
collector.
Oh, Monster High. I don't know the characters' names. I was good to get really.
Listen,
good with the jokes.
Lana's about to list some names, I'm sure, about who we can
Oh.
see in this movie.
Yeah, so it comes out today on Paramount Plus. Like the show before it, Monster High follows Claudine, a werewolf-human hybrid, arriving at her new school, Monster High. After meeting new friends, Claudine feels like she finally belongs, but feels the need to hide her human half. When a threat plans to harm her and the school, Claudine must find a way to save the day and embrace her true monster heart.
Nice. That seems like something you could talk about. Identity crisis. Are monsters like
I don't believe monsters count as a marginalized group, but I will speak.
they're
in
monsters?
terms-
Hold on. They're monsters, and she's kind of fighting with like, which identity am I?
I'm
kinda
gonna
thing
say this,
going on.
Amina. You might hate me. Buckle up, because I don't mean this in a way that's gonna come across.
Oh lord.
But
God.
Oh
just
no.
the very concept of the plot tells me that this had the potential to be like a very, I want to say, more mature type of story, like the plot itself. But instead, we got Halloween brats.
Well, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon for kids.
Very much so.
What did
I,
you expect?
I expected
You
a
thought this was
cartoon.
going to be some politically
Not
hard-hitting
at all. Not at all. That's not
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
diversity
Not at all.
and what
That's
you
not
should.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it had the potential to be
What
that.
on earth?
Think
Well,
about it.
Disney already has a movie like that, isn't it? The Boy Who Cried Werewolf.
I think that's
First-
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, in Paramount Plus, that's Nickelodeon.
And they talk about
right?
hard-hitting stuff like that?
In the movie. I mean,
If you
she was
watch-
fighting becoming a werewolf and she was human, so
Is that what that movie's about?
Yeah, essentially. If you watch any of those shows, you'll see why the conservative Facebook mommies hate Disney and Nickelodeon because they're like, they're
Facebook mom-
teaching my child diversity and I won't stand for it.
Well, you listen here. It's time. I can't do it. It's
Just stop.
yeah. Listen,
you
Monster
yourself?
High. I'm excited. That's probably gonna be movie of the year. I honestly think that is gonna win.
We're gonna watch it right
awards.
after the buzz.
Absolutely. I have Paramount Plus.
So do I.
Do you really? You
Yeah, I
pay for
do.
that?
Yes,
That's crazy.
unfortunately.
I get it for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
How do you
think
get
I
it
do
for
too.
free?
I got sources.
Isaiah getting ins everywhere.
Yeah.
which is off of mommy and daddy, or perhaps a brother.
Hey, bro. I don't know my dad. We don't talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
We
forget
should
that.
talk about the movie Amsterdam.
Yeah. So Amsterdam comes out tomorrow and is rated R in theaters. Amsterdam follows three friends in the 1930s who happen to witness a murder and are now suspects themselves. Follow them as they uncover one of America's greatest mysteries. And this movie has some big names in it. We got Margot Robbie, Christian Bale, John David Washington, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock?
Yeah, I didn't add it into the script, but yeah, Chris Rock is in it.
Chris Rock too, man. I mean, I heard some interesting things about this program. I don't think Amsterdam's like would that get you into theaters? I don't think so. Seems like a Netflix exclusive movie to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix is on its
It's
way out
cable.
though.
It's cable? Wow. On TNT? With commercials? That's the only time you're
No.
gonna watch it?
This is very Lifetime.
That's just
Don't do that.
that's yeah. You put some respect on Lifetime, all right? The greatest movie makers of this generation.
No.
Don't even.
Man, that was hard to say, but Amina,
No.
I was on your side for a couple seconds.
For a couple of seconds.
Couple seconds, I was really trying to fight for you.
Bro.
I'm curious to see if it's going to be a good movie or not. As critics start to analyze it.
I'm sorry, but
start to
critics
analyze it.
too much. They
Yeah, I mean they try
Like,
hard to be different.
I've seen bad movies. Like I've seen mid movies, and then I've seen mid movies, looked at the reviews, and they just do so much. I'm like, it actually starts to make me actually like the movie.
Mhm.
Like that's literally what ends up happening. I'm like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Calm down.
He was all right, you know.
Question: Did
Yes.
you watch Hocus Pocus too?
Yes.
Oh Lord, not
It
the
was-
Hocus Pocus. It was bad.
Listen,
Let
I made my girlfriend watch it with me.
Hold on, Amina. You were all defensive about Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, we were.
I stand against Hocus Pocus 1. I just said Hocus Pocus
Those
2.
two?
Let-
I'm gonna give
But
it
I
a
expected that.
you think
though.
it's worse than Mid?
Like, it
Why?
just-
What is it so bad about it?
I feel like Hocus Pocus 2, like it just didn't.
It tried to capture the charm that the 90s version had while also trying to shove 2022
Yeah,
humor.
and it wasn't. It was like
It just didn't mesh.
maybe if
at
I was
all.
maybe if we were like children, we probably would have thought
Funny
it was
story. Like I made my girlfriend watch Hocus Pocus. She hates Halloween and everything included. But in the relationship, you do things
Smart
you hate.
lady.
But shut up, Isaiah. I'm not
Halloween's
allowed to tell
amazing.
her
What
that,
are
but
you
I can tell
talking
you
about?
that.
Oof.
Anyway, I made her watch it with me, and she hated. She thought it was so scary, and the whole time she was like jumping. I'm like, Shekinah, it is a children's movie, but she really liked this, and she's like, maybe I like this one because it wasn't as scary. I'm like, no, you liked it because it was goofy, and like the first one wasn't goofy. Disney movies weren't always goofy. Disney movies weren't always Austin and Alley. They used to have some
Not
depth to them.
I just want to say to everyone in this room and in the Shadow Realm, on Facebook, on radio, on even the iHeartRadio apps where we are available. I told you so. I said this from the very
So
start,
you had no
Your
position.
opinion was invalid.
and it was
And it's
factual,
so
was it
invalid.
not? It was factual from the
No,
jump.
you said
Hocus
the
Pocus
first one was
1,
bad.
Hocus
No.
Pocus 2, absolute waste of your time. And one thing that we as humans don't have a lot of is time. And I will not let anyone waste their precious time on such a terrible set of movies.
Don't
It's
listen.
a travesty.
I have the
It's an
full story.
embarrassment, and it's shameful. Campbell,
You get a haircut and you just have the worst views ever.
I haven't gotten a haircut in a while, and I really need one. But we don't need to talk about that. Campbell, did you watch Hocus Pocus 2?
No, I did not watch
Smart.
the first one.
Good. Keep it that way, Campbell.
I'm a Halloween Town fanatic.
That's even a waste of time too.
Silent.
So you don't like what
Well,
did you watch
listen,
during
hold
the
on.
The fourth one. was
Kids' Halloween movies are by far some of the worst movies.
Oh,
on the
now you
planet.
gotta go. Now you gotta go.
Hey,
Listen,
Now you gotta
every
go.
single Halloween movie made for kids should be buried and should only be used as a form of torture.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Like
but you
can't
the
put
only
kids
time
in
it is acceptable to watch a kid's Halloween movie is if you are waterboarding someone. All right, this is
can't
shameful.
even say that.
Just in case Facebook got an exclusive. Listen, this is absurd, and I just, why are we doing this now? A real horror movie, down with it. I don't really mess with those spiritual ghost things. I'm not trying to get possessed by the devil,
You sound like you are the way
but
you're
I'm good on that.
blasphemy
But if you
everything.
got like some guy in a mask with a knife chasing you on Halloween, sign me up. Or you got zombies, cool. But kids movies and Halloween are the corniest things on the planet.
So you don't like Halloween Town? You don't like Twitches?
No.
See,
No.
the
What?
first one.
all right.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
agree.
not like Nightmare Before Christmas?
I
You
think
are on
No.
thin ice.
hold on.
Like that
Everyone,
movie either.
everyone,
Sorry.
Y'all are horrible.
I'm gonna have a moment of honesty. All right. I agree with Amina. I don't think it's that good of a movie. I think it's
Y'all are awful.
overhyped, and I think there's a certain genre of human that are only the ones watching that. And I'll let you do what you want with that information.
No, say it.
Um,
No, say it.
Nope.
Because I don't fit that blend.
I
I
like,
know exactly what
I
you're
like
thinking.
the vagueness of that statement, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
I know what you're
Because
thinking.
we
And
have
I
a program to move on upon,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Lana's
continue,
got
yes.
more things to talk about. Sometimes instead of movies, I like to play a couple video games. All right.
That is true. I'm sorry, I'm still reeling from what you just said.
He's
but-
awful, right?
Oof. Anyway, Overwatch 2 came out on Tuesday for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Like the game before, Overwatch is a first-person shooter. Play as a time-jumping freedom fighter, a beat-dropping DJ, or one of the other 30 characters as you battle it out around the world.
You were very convincing with the around the world part.
Um,
I mean, I guess I heard some information that like the servers were down when they tried to launch the game, but
yeah, I think they fixed it. though.
yeah. From what I know, I played Overwatch 1. I don't understand why you would need a sequel for that. There was no like story. That's weird.
Isaiah, there's a reason.
Money.
Exactly.
Make people pay again. Now, listen, this next game could be exciting. Because it's got a pretty big name brand on there, Lana.
We got Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, Slime Speedway.
Slime Speedway?
Yup, which comes out for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, and Xbox One. Choose from over 40 of your favorite characters over the years to race against your friends.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could race a SpongeBob,
Is that the only Nickelodeon character you know?
the Fairly Odd Parents.
Timmy Turner?
I know a lot. I'm just
Danny Phantom?
Danny Phantom.
That was my show.
Both the Angry Beavers? Man, what other Nickelodeon show? Invader Zim?
Invader Zim. Oh,
That was a good one.
that was a good show.
I never watched the movie though. Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy
Jimmy's mom.
What do
Guys, thank you,
the
Lana.
buy
That
candy bars?
what are you singing right now?
The
The
theme
new song for Jimmy
Thank
Neutron.
Oh, I just heard candy bars. I didn't. Why are you so offensive? Why are you so on edge right now?
Because
Are you a little hurt? Are you a little sad?
Yeah, I'm a little mad right now. And say it's me. You get out the audience.
Listen, guys, this program was electric. This program was a great time to be alive. This program will be back next week with this same cast and crew, except for Campbell. You get the week off, but we'll be thinking about you. What a day, what a life, what a time. We'll see you next week. Bye.